For me, I'm concerned about Adam Thielen. We've seen now 3 of his last 5 games, 8 PPR points or less, and we know what's coming. The squeaky wheel game is coming for Justin Jefferson. Baby Kubiak said we got to do a better job of getting him the ball, and so Adam Thielen could be the one that loses as a result of this, because I think we'll see Tyler Conklin involved based on how the Chargers struggle to defend tight ends. So Thielen, we have seen, like I said, 3 of his last 5 games under 8 PPR points or less. He can disappear. So Adam, you see the consensus ranking here, still a top 20 wide receiver. Should he be?
I would start Debo, Lockett, Robert Woods ahead of him. And then I think, yeah, he could be right in the 20-21 range. Once you start getting past 20, you're going to be nervous about almost any of those guys. Thielen needs to catch a touchdown. About 2/3 of his last 30 games, he's got fewer than 60 receiving yards. That's just who he is. It's unfortunate. And you're going up against a secondary that's hopefully getting a little bit healthier. I know they had a couple of injuries last week, and it showed with Devontae Smith having a big game, but I think they're getting at least one of their cornerbacks back. So you're going to need that touchdown. Cousins is not playing all that well. Offense is under fire a little bit. I'm absolutely nervous about him, but I would start Adam Thielen over Michael Carter.
All right, get that, and hopefully this game gets a little bit more of a track meet, which has the potential to be. So we'll see if the injuries for the Chargers matter here, but I think Thielen is just one of those guys, like you said, if he doesn't score, you could be a little bit frustrated. Let's stay in that same game and talk about Mike Williams, Adam. So this guy has been really frustrating the last few weeks. The potential's still there. Obviously, the quarterback is playing better, like we saw last week after the 2 down games. How much are we trusting still Mike Williams as a top 20 caliber fantasy wide receiver?
Less than Adam Thielen. I have to start him in a few leagues. They're both 3 receiver leagues, and I am nervous about it, very nervous. He's been horrible in, I think, 4 of his last 5 games, fucking 5 targets. You cannot win with 5 targets, and he's got a knee injury that he is playing through. The good news is this is the best matchup he has had in a long time, except for, I think, the Browns, who he tore up. So you hope that he's just been struggling because he's seen Darius Slay and he's had some tough matchups and he's playing through the injury, and hopefully this can snap him out of it. But yeah, you got to be very nervous about Mike Williams.
You should be nervous about him, but I'm still going to use him as a number 2 fantasy wide receiver. At the very least, the Chargers tried to get him into the end zone last week. He had 3 targets inside of 15 yards, 2 of them inside of 5. He dropped a touchdown. Like, it was a mess. But I do think that there is a chance for LA to look at themselves and say, we need to start using him like we did in the first 5 weeks of the season. When he didn't run so many routes downfield, he was a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, and he got targeted a lot. Why not expand this passing game and reuse this guy? Is it because of the knee injury that he has? I don't think so. He's not even on the injury report, and he hasn't missed a game yet. So I'm a little optimistic, especially against the Vikings, that he can come through with another good game, but I don't want to say, yes, top 12 wide receiver like he was through the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
I'm hopeful. We know the Vikings dealing with some injuries, more impacting their run defense than their pass defense, but Anthony Barr and Michael Pierce most likely going to be out for Minnesota after not practicing on Friday. Let's go to our next guy here, Dave, and that's Marvin Jones. So really a tough stretch of games for him here, but the matchup against the Colts is just unbelievable.
It's been amazing, and I think that you're going to see this matchup manifest itself in helping Marvin Jones put up a decent game. That's why I like him as a flex play this week and an under-the-radar play, both in DFS tournaments and cash game plays. Indianapolis has been brutal, specifically against outside wide receivers. They're allowing a 63% catch rate to them, 14.3 yards per catch. That's 10th worst in football. Almost 4.6 yards after catch per reception. That's 7th worst in football. And 11 touchdowns. That's the worst in football. I'm hoping Marvin Jones can find the end zone and that Jacksonville builds some confidence after that win last week. Trevor Lawrence is going to play. Maybe the run game is there to keep Indianapolis balanced on defense. Jones scores and has himself a decent game.
Hope so. Really hope so. But you can also look at Jamal Agnew. That's why we like Dan Arnold. Maybe Laviska Shenault gets going as well. So they're all in play against this very, very bad Jacksonville defense. Colts defense. But Marvin Jones has, I still think, the highest ceiling, even though Agnew has played much better than him in the last 4 games.